The Everything Sequel podcast is brought to you by The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards and the Vegas Beer Guys. The Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language. 'Cause we learned it from you, Dad. Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel podcast. This is a Nightmare edition. Today, we're talking A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man who wants to turn me into a monster Terminator bike, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hi, Tom.
Faster than a bastard maniac, more powerful than a local madman. It's Super Freddy!
And you say this movie doesn't work.
Well, we're at that part of the franchise where the killer's been around so long we have to give him an alter ego.
Yeah.
With Jason, it was Spacin from Jason X.
Sure.
I guess you could also count the turd worm.
And I do.
I was trying to think of what the equivalent is for Michael, and whether he ever got an alter ego. And I suppose
just the guy with the mask in 5.
The guy with the mask in 5.
I mean himself. Like when isn't he wearing a Halloween mask that's different in 5? When he's driving around in that car.
Mask, yeah, I mean every.
That's like the closest he gets.
Well, I was thinking Halloween ends with the guy who he's kind of psychically linked to. He goes around murdering with. I can't remember his name. Is it Grady? Brody?
Shitbag, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely Shitbag. But that's the closest he gets to.
Yeah.
To an alter ego. But it's interesting. I mean, it's because it's one of two instances of Fat Freddy. Right, you get Fat Freddy in the original Nightmare when they set him on fire. It's this really chunky guy.
Yeah, he's clearly chunky.
And now, and this is well, I guess
he's more buff though. This guy.
Well, yeah, it's the third time we've had another actor play Freddy. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
including your favorite of the three, the from Nightmare 2.
Mm-hmm.
The guy you think should have been Freddy in Nightmare 2.
for at least that one moment.
So, that's kind of interesting. But it's still Robert Englund's voice.
Right.
Which is kind of what matters.
Well, because when he turns into that Freddy, it's so funny that this movie is directed by Stephen Hopkins, who we'll talk about in a moment. Oh, no, wait. I'm confusing him. No, yeah, it doesn't make sense then. Damn it. I thought I had a good point.
Next time. Next episode.
Well, what I was going to say was
we'll just keep trying, okay?
Who directed that? Yeah.
Which
Chuck
one?
Russell. So it's 3. Well, because what he looks like, it's like when I introduced you, because this movie. All right, let's just start. This movie is A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, a 1989 film.
Just cause cut your losses at whatever point that was going to be.
Directed by Stephen Hopkins. Well, because what I was going to say was, when I introduced you, this movie's 89, but it seems to have influenced some Terminators on bikes, as well as the movie The Mask, because when he turns into that Freddy, he looks not like Jim Carrey's mask, but what's that guy that's... I can't remember the actor's name, but he's with the Zed group in Pulp Fiction, and he gets the cigarette in the face in The Usual Suspects, and he's the baddie.
Yes, not Robert Darby is how I refer to him.
Perfect.
But yeah, he's...
But when he turns into his own mask, that's what Freddy looks like.
Yes, that's quite a web of connections you've created there.
I have.
I'm with you all the
way. And that's still 5 years away. So it feels like they borrowed from this.
There's probably not many people who could read that map that you've just created, but I am one of them.
All right. Well, it's a 1989 film. It's got 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, and previously discussed and
Cool.
messed up, it's Stephen Hopkins and not Chuck
Wait, so-
Russell.
Can I just go back a bit? Dream Master is 67%? 57%? Because all I'm interested in is the
you're right.
ratios. Because
Dream Warrior 67%, Dream Master 55%.
55%. Because all I'm interested in is the ratios. Because,
Sure.
all the scores are skewed by bias.
Mhm.
But ratio-wise, again, I think I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, it's a bad movie. It's a failure. It's a poor showing within the series. It's a bad movie, and I don't know what my third point was, but it was something.
You were
positive
going
that I
along
can't
like
quite think of.
at a clip that suggested a third thing for sure.
No, the third thing is maybe it's just the level that this series is working at, but even though it is both those things, it's not horrible.
No, I full disclosure, here's a movie I rewatched again, this and the next one. I rewatched a second time like I did for your 4.
It's the only one that I am willing to call an abject failure because I'm just not convinced by any of the dream sequences in it. I feel like they missed the mark on pretty much every single one.
Okay,
And that's
if that's your criteria, then fine.
Well, isn't that in for what the franchise is about? Isn't that?
See, that's the way I feel about the next one.
Well, I feel like the dream sequences go up a notch, even though the quality of filmmaking is about the same.
No, I think the quality of filmmaking goes down in the next one.
Interesting. But I think, well, it's worse because
Yes, thank you.
No, it's worse here because Stephen Hopkins is capable of more. I think.
Yes, but you said in our ranking episode that you would take into consideration the haste at which they had to make these movies, and this is the most rushed movie out of all of them.
But that makes 4 better. This makes 5 worse. So the problem is you've got Rennie Harlan doing a similarly rushed job in a kind of miraculously inventive and spectacular way, and this, it's just this the production context kind of crushes this movie.
Yeah, I think for me anyway, this movie really starts to fail when we get to the end. I don't have a ton of problems until we get to the climax, and then the climax is like really tough.
I think the concept behind each of the dream sequences is a kind of misunderstanding of what should be
dreamlike.
Well, no, what should be the focus of each of the dream sequences? I think they get the focus wrong every single time. I don't think Stephen Hopkins understands fear and how to derive fear from these sequences. I think he's a graphic artist at heart.
Yes.
Right. He likes lines and contours and everything looking a certain way, but he doesn't know how to kind of squeeze the fear out of these sequences, and it really shows. Maybe maybe if he'd have spent more time working on them, maybe if it wasn't so haphazard in terms of I like MC Escher, so let's base 20 minutes of this movie around and something that looks like an MC Escher painting.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, great, but where's the horror?
All right, I mean, you and I had a fundamental disagreement about even the last movie, because once you get past 3, I don't think really any of these movies have the fear factor that the first 3 movies do. And even though I very much like 4, and it's a...
First 3.
Yeah.
So funny. No one thinks Sec 2 is scary. No one thinks 2 is scary.
Oh, I think it's...
I think it's scarier than most people think it is, but no one thinks it's scary.
Well, that's because they're focused on other things. Other gay things.
Other gay things. Well, the gay things I think in it are scary, but there's a dressing around that isn't scary. That's very arch and is like a 80s sitcom that is not. And I don't think of them as particularly.
No, of
scary.
course not those parts. But I still mean that scary that
the non-scary parts aren't scary. We both agree.
Yeah, but Freddy himself is still scary in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my argument about New Nightmare is that Freddy isn't scary, but the movie is. Mm-hmm. So it pulls it back in that extent. But yeah, I think I do think they're going for other responses in Dream Master. But I think Rennie Harlan understands the nature of fear, and I don't get that at all from Stephen Hopkins.
Okay. Well, Stephen Hopkins directed Predator 2, Judgment Night, Blown Away, The Ghost in the Darkness.
Uh-huh.
Then boy, did he take a hit when he got Lost in Space. That was supposed to be a franchise kind of engineered first movie that just went to dog shit.
Well, they got there in the end thanks to Parker Posey, but
True.
It took a good few decades to get over the hump of the Joey Tribbiani version.
Right. And then a movie we've talked about or around recently, because I asked you, isn't this movie terrible? And you said, yeah, it is. And it's Under Suspicion.
Yeah. That's
a bad movie.
It is, yeah. And Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
It's kind of entitled, it's like one of those white men are entitled to commit crimes movies of that era.
Yeah. Hackman's in a lot of those. Absolute Power.
I've never really understood the appeal. I suppose that explains why we're where we're at in culture. That enough people saw those movies that they were like, "Oh, well,
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm happy for my president to be a felon then, as long as he's an old white guy."
They're the best. You could trust them to be monsters the most.
Yes.
Do you remember this movie, The Reaping?
No, I don't. And it's a very misjudged title because it's hard not to say for it to sound like The Raping.
Yes, I know.
When you say it, no, I haven't. Is that like a kind of Left Behind style Judgment Day movie?
Yeah, no, it's
Is it about the Grim Reaper?
No.
Oh.
It's with Hilary Swank. And it's...
I mean, I know who Hilary Swank is, but that doesn't...
Well, she's like
movie.
I don't know, a missionary person or something. She like debunks religious phenomenons. For whatever it is, it's like, maybe she doesn't investigate that. This is what happens in this movie. Basically, she's in a small town, and it's like biblical plagues are happening. And so this person that debunks shit has the funky shit happen to her.
And she's a nun?
No.
Oh.
Not that I remember.
Oh, you said she was a nun. I swear you said she was a nun.
Former Christian missionary.
Oh, okay. So she's seen the light.
Yeah.
Ironically, she's seen the light, which is
exactly.
the light of science. The light of science and reason.
Oh, that's good. And then the only other thing, I mean, he's kind of more in the world of television now, but he directed a movie called Race, which is about Jesse Owens running at those German Olympics.
Not the David Mamet play?
No.
So I don't think that's ever getting a screen adaptation for quite good reasons.
I don't think I've read that.
Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Is that a person?
Yeah.
She was in the original run.
Okay.
Yeah, and most of the first season of 24, I seem to remember.
Yeah, he was involved in 24.
Because that, and I remember, because I was a huge fan of the first season, and I remember feeling uncertain about the second season because I know he pulled out of it, and I began to associate his directorial style, and I think it's a Clark Johnson situation.
Yeah,
where
right.
He sort of built the aesthetic from the ground up in the way that Clark Johnson
The Shield,
did with The Wire and the
Yeah.
Shield, because I think that the idea of 24 aesthetically kind of stayed good, but the content of what they were doing started to fall away.
Okay.
So I think he was largely responsible for. And given that he's a graphic design person, that makes total sense because it's all about split screen.
Yeah, right.
And the graphic of the
digital clock
in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he directed the pilot, and I think most of the episodes as well.
All right. Well, this particular movie, certainly towards the beginning of his career, had a budget of $8 million, so they've upped that a little bit, but we're still under. We're not even in double digits for the series, and this is towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Opening weekend of $8.1 million, and in the USA and the world, $22.1 million. Oh, maybe you should go back to 24 with that legacy thing. Oh, no, it just says executive producer. I don't know if he
I've seen that.
was directing, but his name's all over it.
Oh. Well, maybe
He directed 3 episodes of that.
24 Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I remember it not being good, too. 12 episodes of the original run.
They did so many kind of spin-offs and mini-sodes. I just lost track, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to bring it back with Kiefer Sutherland in tow this time. Finally get him out of that Russian prison. Spoilers.
I don't know. I feel like that's a show that's just past its prime. It was...
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was past its... arguably, there should never have been more than one season.
Yeah, right.
The concept only really works if it happens once. Once it happens twice, 3 times, 4 times, it becomes almost untenable.
It makes that first season seem less...
And they tried to throw in all these devices as if it's the 24 hours starts at a different time of the day.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like, yeah, but the crisis still lasts exactly 24 hours. And something's happening in every hour of the day. That's the plausibility problem. Doesn't matter whether you start that at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 in the afternoon.
Sure.
That's not the issue. That's not the plausibility issue here.
That's great. Well, all right. So we start with, we still have our kind of classic New Line logo. And my note is we fall into these ice blue credits.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the last 2 movies, you've seen the kind of, how elaborate the title sequences is kind of grow exponentially. Now we've kind of gone, and I don't know if this is a factor if they just didn't have time, but weirdly low-tech titles as well, almost like this is a prequel to the original movie. And Stephen Hopkins' name is way too big for given how earlier on in his career. I think they were like, well, we've kind of built up Rennie Harlan. Let's purposefully try and build up Stephen Hopkins. But if the movie doesn't, that should be retrospective. That should be like, if the movie works, then everyone thinks he's a genius. If they don't, then you shouldn't be going, look, Stephen Hopkins directed our movie. Great. Don't care. Don't know who he is. It also, I mean, and this is not on the movie. This is on the preservation side of things, but the film looks the least well kept of them all, to be fair. Nobody did any restoration, or it kind of looks really hand drawn, and I'm wondering how much is that part of the original aesthetic. Try and make it look,
You mean
like
the actual credits themselves?
Yeah, like how much. I mean, the hand drawn look is part of the title aesthetic, but it also looks like, I don't know, when you watch film series, this happens a lot where you're like, why is this one movie kept better than this movie? There's like one movie, it's grainy, it's bouncing around, and then there's another one that looks like it was filmed yesterday with a
digital restore.
Yeah, and I'm just sort of like, is that they just no one would pay for this to be restored in any fashion?
It's funny because I bought the whole series on digital,
and now it's on streaming.
I know.
After all that, now it's on streaming.
Yeah, well, I'll watch them all. It's fine.
Culture this is why culture is done. You know what it is? It's what they do to us. It's the model of what they do to us with sports to try and screw us out of being able to watch every single game.
Yeah,
they're doing it with exactly the same thing with movies.
You're like frothing at the mouth right now.
Well, it's and then like the sports excuse is semi-legitimate, which is we don't want to tread on the local markets.
Yes.
So you can't see a movie in your local. You can't see a sports ball game in your local market because then people won't go to the games, and then the TV stations won't get the revenue. Blah blah blah. Like, I understand that, but there's no local markets for any of these fucking movies. They're just fucking movies. Anyway, they don't want you to have everything.
No, yeah, clearly.
And I think it's financially misguided as well. I think they're eventually going to realize that we will just stop buying anything and find another way to get it, unless you give us everything.
Are you done?
As long as that warning is on record. And yes, it is if it comes to criminal proceedings, yes, that counts as a threat.
So what I was gonna say was that these movies all have some more than others extras.
Yeah.
For the movies, and these last two movies, you listen to Bob Shea and you listen to the directors, and they, everybody's so apologetic. It's so funny to listen to. He's like Shea is like, we never set out to make a bad movie or a bad experience, and we're really sorry if the fans feel that, but we always it's not like we weren't trying to always give a great Freddy movie.
I mean, yeah, that's funny. It's not like in any of these movies, like someone gets their dick out and starts waving it around a room of interns, right? We don't need that level of apology.
Right, exactly. So anyway, I just thought that was funny, but so we have a slashy title card and some chalk sounds for an ice blue, go back to the ice blue Dream Child. And then my note is we have sexy time hump credits.
Yeah, well, this is, it's it feels like a late 80s erotic thriller is beginning rather than a nightmare movie.
Skinamax is what it looks like.
It's Skinamax, yeah. That magenta glow on a sculpted naked torso I associate with 80s erotica. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that we're right at the end of the decade.
Silk stockings.
Yes. I guess like late 80s, early 90s was the time for that, wasn't it?
True.
And we've got our, on the plus side, I think, plotting-wise, our third final girl who makes it into a sequel in this series. That's got to be a record.
Right.
In the series, the slasher series we've watched.
Yes.
And of course we've got Heather to come back.
Yeah.
Not as Nancy, but as Heather. They've managed this 3 times in a row now. So there's that shows a real commitment to following the ongoing life of characters.
Which the next movie does not do.
Absolutely. But also capitalize.
Don't just run right over that. That's a fucking mark against it.
I said it's a bad movie and it's my second to last, so it's not like it's not like it's the top of my list like Nightmare 2, which contains exploding birds.
Glorious.
You have to walk that back. I have to walk much far less back.
I'll walk nothing back.
I'll fly it back, I suppose, in this case. Explode it back. But I think we talked previously when we covered the Jasons and the Michaels that slashers definitely have this potential, but no one seems to capitalize on it. That the final girl survives the end of the movie, and then they usually kind of abandon. They either don't go back to her or kill her off very quickly at the beginning of the next movie, and it's sort of like you have potentially to take this character through multiple movies, and this is the only series that kind of does that in a way that feels deliberate and understands the form that they're working in. Like, hey, we've got an opportunity here. We've got a character who survives the end of the movie as part of the formula.
Yeah, there's lots of start-stops.
Turn this into serial storytelling.
I mean, Halloween, I think, does it a little bit, but it's more start-stop because you get Jamie Lee for 1 and 2. You get Danielle Harris for, not 3, but 4, 5, and technically 6, even though it's not the legacy actor, but the legacy character in that movie, but also killed off quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's like Jamie Lee comes back for 2 movies.
You get that. Interestingly, in Halloween, it's Tommy.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, did I say Halloween or Friday the 13th?
I don't know, because you literally, my internet connection became unstable again, and you
Spectrum heard me bad-mouthing the streaming policies and decided not to work. Well, in Friday the 13th, you've got the Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Yeah.
But so you got Final Boy, I suppose, in that Final Boy continuity in those movies. But I think every Friday movie, if any characters carry over, they're quickly beheaded in the beginning of
because Jamie Lee comes back for H2O, and then she's quickly dispensed with in Resurrection.
And then she comes back as an even drunker.
Yeah.
Laurie in
18.
In 18. Just kind of lapping up vodka like a hungry dog. Which way to the bear?
Oh, that's funny.
So, we get, very early on, we get a shower scene.
Tits.
So, you're thinking... I know that's what it means to you. We was like, oh, okay, so we're going for Hitchcock straight away, but, much more pornographic. More Psycho 98 than Psycho 60.
Sure, right.
Because it's just like, we're just looking at this nude body.
I think they're trying to tap into, for people that have those shower-only showers, but, it's like a...
One of those night vampires? What, shower-only showers? You have something else? Oh,
well, no bathtub. No bathtub,
yeah. Which is, you know what I've been, whenever I have a chance to stay at a hotel, right, I have like a bath soak, this little mini bath soak bottle. I can't, so full disclosure, I can't fit in my own bath. I live in a 1970s apartment. We were apparently midgets back then. I don't fit in my bath, so I can't have a relaxing bath. So whenever like I'm going anywhere that involves a hotel stay, or an Airbnb stay, I'm like, I'm gonna bring my little bottle of bath soap in the hope that there's a bath that I can fit into and have a nice relaxing soak with bubbles and salts and things.
Right.
And I've taken it with me, and I've never used it. Never been able to use it. I'm like, either doesn't have a bathtub, or the bathtub is as small or smaller than the one I own.
Oh no!
So this is a problem. The shower-only shower.
God.
Just like the night vampires. Call back to our previous episodes.
Let's see: night vampires, cable providers, and baths. All right, I got your list going for you. So anyway, I think they're hooking into a specific thing, because I've been in a couple of those kind of tall showers, and every once in a while I think to myself, yeah, what if it got stuck?
Okay.
Could I drown in this thing?
My note is this doesn't make sense fear-wise, because what Hitchcock understood was shower paranoia is an attack from the outside, not drowning in the cubicle. But you're saying it's like specific to the kind of shower they're in. I think that's still a bit niche. I don't think that's got that general
it's
quotidian fear aspect
widespread.
Of it. Yeah. And because I don't think you can improve on the paranoia of someone's gonna, I can't hear, I can't see, I'm vulnerable, someone's gonna come and attack me. So again, I think the fear factor is not quite there. And I was wondering as well, like, the other thing that the dream reveal reminded me of is Dallas.
Oh yeah.
The dream season of Dallas. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when a whole season was it a whole season that was a dream? It was a whole
At
season,
least
right?
one whole season.
At
I
least
think it was
whole
one season. I think you're right.
So I wonder if that was a coincidence or there was a nod here to kind of because there's a like waking up and finding someone in the shower kind of moment.
Yeah. Well, I tell you the thing that got me, and not for the reason you think, because when she falls out of the shower into the, I don't know, asylum/boiler room,
Yep.
and she's walking down the halls naked,
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking, like, the isolation of that and feeling so exposed for her was unsettling.
Yeah, and
So I like that.
The tracking shot, the Thousand Maniacs tracking shot is good. I think like Hopkins, you know, he's a British director, and I think he's seen a lot of Ken Russell movies because this feels like how Ken Russell would film this particular scene, especially this kind of this kind of tracking shot where you keep going into the faces and out again.
And
that
out.
feels like a very Ken Russell look. But it's so, all of it is just, I mean, first of all, the entirety of this scene is nothing I ever needed to see. I'm happy it being verbally described to me and never needed to see it visually.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
But the execution of it is so ham-fisted with the kind of literally counting the Thousand Maniacs, the name tag, so you know who it is. I'm like, okay, if we're gonna see it, which we don't need to see it, let this creep up on us a little bit. Like, don't give us so many giveaways that this is what you're describing, that this is what you're showing. Like, this scene might just work if it crept up on us that this was the context.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you're like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, you're like, okay, Thousand Maniacs, and there's a name tag, Amanda Kruger. Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
That's the scene done then. I know what you're trying, and then the rest of it's redundant because it's kind of tasteless that we would.
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Like want
like,
to see it.
I think the problem with it is just I don't need to count. Another movie told me it's 1,000. I remember that, and I can. Like, my brain works. I know that that's Amanda Kruger.
Yeah, and then exactly. You don't need either of those. You don't need the whole thing. And I suspect, given that I think we've had 2 movies where Robert Englund hasn't got his real face in the movie, I suspect that as part of a deal for him to carry on playing Freddy Krueger, is like, I gotta have my real face at least once in every movie from now on.
I guess maybe
because the next 3, he gets his real face in.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you almost recognize him more than you do Freddy.
Right.
At some point. And I guess, and again, it's like, well, I guess that was the sperm that won.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact same thought I
had.
had.
It's so childish. It's so babyish.
I had that same thought.
Yeah, so I don't like that scene at all, apart from the way that it's shot.
I kind of like some of the dream logic of it, because she's walking down the hall and she's completely exposed because she just fell out of the shower, so she's naked, and then it's as though she became Amanda Kruger.
Sound like Patrick Stewart in the episode of Extras. And all of their clothes fall off instantly.
So then
they've all rot. They've been they've turned lesbian and their clothes have all rotted off.
Let me finish my
Okay.
thoughts. So, but she's walking down the hall, and that moment she's very exposed, and then she becomes Amanda Kruger, and she's actually giving birth to the monster, and then she,
yes,
and then all of a sudden she's no longer, she's watching. She's like one of the nun nurses or whatever, watching the baby getting born, and so the hopping around quality that actually happens in dreams, I kind of liked, just because the whole rest of this series never does that. There's not a lot of, like, the second somebody closes their eyes in this movie, they're suddenly dreaming, which is not how sleep works, but it's like they just have to close their eyes, and then
from your perspective as the dreamer, it is,
but not in reality.
Well,
You can't just hit someone with a stick and then they're dreaming.
but in reality, all we'd be watching is someone with their flickering eyes. If you're gonna
No,
apply
but what I
reality.
mean is that what I'm saying is it just takes time to get into REM sleep.
Yeah, but you don't experience that as the dreamer.
No.
And in fact, something that this series never discusses really is dream time,
Mm-hmm.
because you only dream in the last few seconds before you wake up.
No, it's not true.
No, it is true.
No.
No, it is. That does like time. So dream time is condensed. So you're actually only dreaming in those few seconds before you wake up.
I don't know.
Why won't you accept that? Why does it
Because-
matter? You're unconscious. You don't know what's going on. It's perception versus reality.
Well, I dream multiple times, like throughout the night, and I
Yeah,
remember
and then
that.
when you wake up, you've only been dreaming in the few seconds before you woke up.
I'll do some research.
Good. No, you won't. First of all, but if you want to present a counter argument to that, do it in the Picture Sequel episode.
All right, fine.
And crucially, more than anything, remember to do it. Well, also the thing about the way we see Freddy being born. Actually, well, there's a section in between this. Actually, I want to kind of go back to that because we go. Don't we go into reality and then back to Freddy being born?
What do you mean? No, I don't think so.
Well, there's like a new ensemble of team friends that we're introduced to. Don't we have a graduation? Is like
Yeah, but this is all before that.
no. Then the Freddy being reborn is after that. Thousand Maniacs rape scene. Reality. Then it goes back into Freddy being born. They're separate dreams.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a whole bit in between. Stop fighting me. There's a whole. We go back to the asylum.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's
you're right.
when
you're
Freddy's
right.
reborn.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you admit you only dream in the few seconds
No,
before you wake up.
no. But
By that logic, yeah, no. So new ensemble of teen friends, right? So
well, but I like that. I like the double dream too, because she wakes up, and Dan is supposed to be next to her, and then Freddy comes up. That's a good double dream.
I don't like the double dream at all. I think this series cheapens itself by using it.
Yeah, that's the first time you're mentioning that.
No, I do. I don't think I don't think the series needs it. But so anyway, the part of the reason that I think this is the worst film in this series is that it now feels for the first time like a bit of a formula. So we get one or two actors and or characters from the previous film, and then we add on a new ensemble of teen friends. Like, it feels very clunkily done for the first time, I think, where you're just like, hey, we're now surrounded by new people, because that's what these movies do now.
Well,
So-
they have to. Some of the people are dead, so you need new
They
people.
don't have to. They can do whatever they want. You can make Freddy a meta demon. Do whatever you want. But
And
no,
he's just battling Dan and Alice.
I'm fine with them doing it again, but do something new and interesting. And this just
See, I
feels
had the
like
opposite reaction because
you hate me.
That's beside the point.
That's the point.
Because in the last movie, one of my quibbles was I wasn't sure that Rennie Harlan was getting the best performances because the acting felt a little stilted to me. Even Dan and Alice, Dan especially in the last movie. And then in this movie, they seem more relaxed, more comfortable in their roles. And then their supporting cast, I like quite a bit more. And this front scene, this graduation scene, they all actually seem like they know each other, like they're actually friends. I didn't really get that sense in the last movie. It felt more like after school special, they just met today and we have to pretend to be friends.
Well, but they weren't as close in the last movie. I mean, it was, because you killed off half of them as well. It's sort of like
No, I'm talking about. Well, I'd have to go
the
back
ones
and look
that
at the
survived.
names, but yeah, the new
The
group,
ones that
not the
survived
old
as
group.
friends.
Yeah.
It could also be just the people who, it's like, well, you weren't my favorites of the group, but you're the only ones who survived. So I guess we're best friends now because you didn't die. I think there's an element of that.
I really like the bit with her dad. Like her dad is kind of.
Oh no! No, I do not like this. I do not like this conversation. This is one of the worst written converstions in the whole series. It's hey, let's have a perfectly natural conversation where we recap your entire history of alcoholism and find out you're going to an AA meeting. Terrible, really bad writing.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not. It's not fine. This series could do better.
They handle it quickly. They just get it out of the way.
Yeah, but that's all they talk about. It's just sort of like, hey, remember how you're an alcoholic? You know how you're my dad and you're an alcoholic, and now you're going to an AA meeting, which means you're not an alcoholic
That's
anymore.
not what they
That's
say.
Exactly. It's just a sort of like, you don't have these conversations with your parents where you recap your entire...
All he says is, I didn't think you'd want people to see me. And she says, that's all in the past. It's not as ham-fisted as you're saying.
It's very ham-fisted. Also, tell you what else is weird. And again, this is just basic stuff that I can't believe Stephen Hopkins hasn't figured out. How much taller is her boyfriend than she is? And why are they not fixing the eye lines? He's constantly leaning down to look at her. It's like, save his back. He's gonna have back problems in later life for leaning down. It's like, fix the eye line. You can do this cinematically. But he's always bending down to look at her.
I need some of those electrodes put on your head to define what pleases you and what doesn't.
Well, when I see like a fundamental lack of like easy fixes, it's like, come on. I mean, made quickly. That's made quickly. That's a made quickly quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a step ladder. Someone give her a step ladder. We've got no time to get her a step ladder.
It's after that,
and
that
I'm really
she follows...
excited by this on-screen photograph of characters we've only just met and a couple left over from before. Anyway.
Well, what I responded to more was, we talked before in the series about how parents are the problem and how they fuck them up, and I think Stephen Hopkins does a really good job showing us the like that exact dynamic, because as we're following this graduation, we're flashing to parents, and we're flashing to them in all the ways they're limiting their own kids.
Yeah, but again, like it's sort of like, if it just feels like they've just traded out. It's like, oh, one movie we'll have her be a slut, then in another the parent will be an alcoholic, and then we'll flip it back and forth. And this just feels like, could it be something other than alcoholism, like, Vodka Mom in Nightmare?
Well, the alcoholism in the last movie, to throw you a bone.
Oh, yeah, it's established then, yeah. I mean, again...
That feels like the most honest alcoholism...
Agreed.
In the whole series. It's almost for comic effect in the very first movie.
They've essentially made him John Saxon in this movie by giving him a completely 360 character reversal from the last movie.
Yeah,
and then
right.
saying it's now because he's sober, which... Yes, there's obviously that, but there's no remnants of what that character was in the last movie either.
Yeah.
Right. Which that kind of is
sober.
Like, when you're a drunk, you're not. When you're a drunk, it's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Right? There's still some of your personality. Anyway. But yeah, movie.
All right, well, let's take our first break. We're having a good battle already. Why don't we take our first break and then we'll come back?
Yeah, let's take our first break. You can call Spectrum and tell them to sort your fucking internet out. Right now. So I don't keep having
you don't have the time.
stilted fucking shouts every time I try and make a point. Unless you're fucking with me and just like, I'm just gonna ride out this episode by pretending I'm frozen on Zoom.
All right, we'll be right back right after this. It's time for Lizard vs. Wizard, in a brand new action-packed comedy fantasy adventure book written and performed by Christopher John Featheroff. It's called The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. When her nest is destroyed and her forever mate slaughtered, Zephyr Ignitus, the last of an ancient breed of fire-breathing dragons, gathers together a team of saber-toothed panthers, woolly mammoths, and a crew of howler monkeys, brandishing swords and weapons stolen from the ships of men, all to hunt down and scorch the evil beast-killing wizard that did her wrong. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards is a fast-paced, R-rated comedy under the cloak of an epic, rip-roaring fantasy adventure. Set in a land of fire and magic, it follows the dragon on her quest for vengeance, as she visits strange new cities and mystical places, all to hunt down and slaughter a demented sorcerer that slayed her mate and blew up her mountain. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards can be found in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Try and find it on Amazon or on Kindle. That's The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. Find it wherever you get the good books just as soon as you can. I almost said hello and welcome.
Is that what you said when you were on the call to Spectrum? Hello and welcome to your worst nightmare. You are fucking up my podcast recording.
Get your shit together, please.
It's the Kick-Ass edition.
And we're back. Tom and I are here having a spirited yet stilted argument. Thanks to my internet.
That's great. Spirited yet stilted.
About A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Yeah, I don't know why you're going for the mat to this movie, because you think it's a bad movie and it's second to last. I think it's a bad movie and it's last.
I'm not going to the mat, but I just don't think it's... I take umbrage, sir.
Why? Why take umbrage?
The next movie
Pick
is not
your battles, man.
the last movie on your fucking list.
Well, because, you know, it has high points and there's no high points in this movie for me.
Nonsense.
That's it. That's literally it. Neither of them are great.
Agreed.
There we go. Okay, end of episode. We've reached consensus.
Hey, I got a question for you. Because Lisa, I think, in a dream, right? She follows the nun into the spooky building. It's all very gothic. Now,
is that asylum scene?
Is that the... But is that also the asylum from 3?
It's the... wait a minute. What do you mean by the asylum from 3? You mean where the teen
where the teens
hospital?
are.
Oh, I don't know. I assumed it was the... Isn't it a separate asylum?
Because that's where the nun is always hanging around too, and like she seems like she's up in a tower.
Could be.
And this one has towers.
Which I expect they haven't.
It was the first time ever where I thought, hey, wait a second, is this the same fucking place?
Well, speaking of first time thinking about things that I should have been thinking about from the beginning, the Skip Rope Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Fast becoming Freddy's hype men.
Oh, yeah.
Right, whenever they appear, we know he's about to return to the franchise. They're like little John the Baptists heralding the return of Jesus. So we both watched Nightmare earlier on this week in the theater, the original Nightmare,
right? And
there's lines of dialogues which suggest that this is a song that exists that the 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You is a song that exists in reality.
Yeah, right.
Which is a folklore song that came out of the parents murdering Freddy Krueger and everything that happened with that. Now,
Sure.
They never follow up on this.
No.
And it only that they're only there in, because I think in that movie that there's at least one instance of these are just kids in reality singing this song, but not knowing the context of it, not knowing that it's about the person that has murdered them in a different generation.
Yeah, right.
But it kind of gets muddy after that. They seem to be like dream characters, or
they're
just
always ethereal. They're always
they're just sort of like a flag that you're waving to go. Freddy's coming back any minute now. We're gonna pour water on the ashes, and he's gonna sea monkey up.
Yeah, we get our second sea monkey.
I haven't been tracking this, but they've been in every movie, right? And it's not clear what part of reality or dreams they're in.
That's true.
And the origin of this song is something that only the first movie, I'll say, explores, but it just throws out a couple of lines of dialogue about it. But
you remember that old jump rope song? I'm like, no, I do not. I don't remember that song.
Yeah, when did kids start singing this? And why aren't the parents who were involved in the murder immediately going out? Oh, okay, no.
Hey, whoa.
Too soon. We're trying to maintain a cover-up here, okay? You're blowing our cover-up with this song. But anyway, I love so seeing Freddy born is the literal adaptation of Backstory, right? We're sort of like, and again, something I'm fine not seeing.
I wrote that it's unintentionally funny. And I say that
also,
even though I kind of like that little puppet.
I like the puppet, but isn't this a little bit of a retcon that, aren't they trying to Jasonify him a little bit? Like, I always assume Freddy looks weird because he was burned.
True, right.
Because they're making out that, oh my god, that everyone's looking at him like he's like
he was a monster from the start,
like he was a frog boy, like Jason, and then the next movie we see is a perfectly normal looking man, with the face of Robert Englund. So, but this is both a retcon and a retcon that they subsequently retcon, I think.
Yeah.
This is another moment. I like the idea of this. This movie does have good ideas, right? So simultaneous birth and resurrection.
Yeah.
I like that idea. But I don't know. This is where I'll throw you a bone. Conceptually better than the way the resurrection is done in the last movie, but for me much less satisfying.
There is no resurrection. He's just riding a broom.
No, in the last movie.
Oh, movie.
Dream Master, yeah. Dog pissing fire, I'm like, this should be better, but it's not. And that's what made me think, this isn't a good movie. If you can't pull this off.
Right.
This should be better than it is. Although, it was interesting to rewatch Never Sleep Again and find out that all that survives from the very first draft of this movie was It's a Boy. And how much that stands out as a kind of moment that works in this movie. And you sort of think, I wonder if they'd left more of that first draft in. Would it have been a better movie? Because It's a Boy is great.
Yeah, I love It's a Boy. I also, it's one of the very few moments in which Freddy actually seems threatening. And it's when his mom appears to say, back off, motherfucker, I'm going to stop you from doing this. And he, sneering, he says, we'll see, bitch.
Yeah, he's straight in there with the bitch.
Yeah.
So,
to his own mother.
We've had a bitch per movie since 3 now.
At least.
Yeah. But now, and this is where it gets kind of catchphrased, I think. It's like, bitch.
Like, I'll be back.
They're looking for an applause line, right? When he says, because it's very early for, it's one of the first things he says.
Right.
So I think they're looking for an applause line. So I think Freddy and bitch have become synonymous,
maybe
like Jesse in Breaking Bad and the word bitch.
Yeah.
Those two characters from pop culture are synonymous with the word bitch.
Yeah. Magnets, bitch.
You'll love that we go back to the diner.
Oh, I have pool party first. But yeah, we got friends at the pool party while Alice is at the diner.
I actually quite like this, not just because the diner is so prominent in 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that this franchise has a memory.
Again, like they're building that
Discrepancy
continuity. Like
she could have
everything looks the same.
She could have been working in like a department store now or something, and they're just like, nah, that's established. She's still working in the diner. Most people keep their, the shitty jobs that they work.
Their high school jobs for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, So I like that. What I don't like is that we've started to kind of like give each of the victims a USP that's just there to theme their deaths.
Yeah,
so
right.
You go like, someone who wants to be a model, that's going to be involved in their death.
Swimmer.
Someone who swims,
and a comic book guy.
And a guy who likes comic books. It's like, okay, well now I know what the deaths are going to be based around. It's a real shame. It's like when you can predict the movie on that level, it's like, it's time to think of something else, guys. Or at least make it less obvious that is how their demises are going to go.
I mean, can you go all the way back to the first time you watched this movie? Because the giveaway is when it happens the first time.
Oh, I didn't remember. This
for the
was all
model.
like, I was sort of like, what is their line of dialogue in the scene about that, what's essential to them? That's going to be their death. Okay. I just think it's done as perfunctorily as it's ever been in this series.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's only an idea that started in 3. This idea of theming your death around, let's say, well, in this movie, it's kind of like what you want to be in life. Mm-hmm. Originally, it was neuroses. Like, what is your particular neuroses? Yeah. This is like careers. Your career is going to kill you. Yeah. That makes it sound better than it is. Yeah. And I can tell you for a fact that is true. Your career will kill you.
Amen, brother.
I don't like Freddy walking around in the waking world. Like he does here. This is Jason's territory, as a later movie will point out. I wish you'd had a scene of Jason going, "Stay in your lane." It's like, wow, you're talking for the first time. Yeah, that's how much this matters to me. I'm talking for the first time to tell you to go back to your fucking dream world.
Right.
Sleepy time killer. You night vampire, you.
Yeah, and so the thing I also, in my prior and now prior research that has gone into new research that I'll have to do, but I kept looking at like twice. I looked up once because I forgot. I was like, are babies really just fucking dreaming all the time? Like, I don't know that that's true. And even today,
I don't know how we'd know, right? That's the
thing,
exactly.
Like, even today, like everything says exactly what you just said was, well, we think this, but it's hard to know exactly what's going on in there. But most people think no to this. And, and I remember, I think looking at the extras and one of the writers was like, I mean, this is just so ripe, right? Because that's what babies are doing. They're just like in there the whole time, eyes closed, dreaming. And I was like, this guy's just making shit up.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with bastardized science.
Well, that bastardized science is lending itself to the thing you don't like, which is why it's the reason Freddy can kind of come into the world or pull.
Oh yeah, I'm
pull
fine
them
with
from
whatever.
Waking into.
I don't think that he's there for the wrong reasons. In quotes. I just think it's like it's not a good look. I didn't like it in 2. I don't like it here.
Okay.
That's it. It's like the waking world is not his domain. Stay in your lane, Freddy. or at least should have been like, whoa, fuck. Or like he suddenly starts eating things. He goes to an all day like a Chinese buffet or something and just starts eating like, fuck, I've forgotten how good eating food is. And then he becomes Fat Freddy.
Yeah.
And goes on fire.
Well, Dan has to. So, I think Alice is at the diner, and she calls Dan to say Freddy's up to some shit, so he gets in his truck.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the least believable I fell asleep moments
In the
in
car.
the whole series. Yeah.
I don't know. They do it in New Nightmare, and it feels real. So I don't know why they can't pull it off here.
Well, it's different. You have a husband driving home, and he's just driving home, and it's late, and he's tired. Here,
That's why it's better.
You're racing to the diner to try and save your girlfriend. It's
Yeah.
not really a fall asleep moment. Plus,
No.
it feels like that pool party. It's like 10 p.m. Like I just don't know that he's super, super tired.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's in New Nightmare, the dad's been doing a day of he's been working overtime.
Yeah.
A day of hard graft. So that's why he's just like.
That makes complete sense.
It makes complete sense. So why can't they just write something for Dan in the same way?
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah,
I
have
do
literally
like
nothing,
this.
Oh, I have nothing to say about it. It bored me to tears.
I like this
whole
motorcycle nonsense. I think
it was like Free Jack or something.
Oh, I think it's so ridiculous in the most delightful way.
I found it so nondescript. I didn't have. I was just like, I can't wait for it to be over. It's so boring.
No,
and low quality puns as well. Need for Speed, is that what he says?
Something like that.
And is that Top Gun? Need for Speed?
Yeah.
As if you ever get a chance, there's clips on YouTube of the compilations of the SNL parody audition reels for movies.
Oh, nice.
There's a great one with Alec Baldwin auditioning for Top Gun as Al Pacino.
I feel the need for speed.
For speed.
Where am I? Where am I going?
Let's get going.
And this is where Freddy becomes a wire. Is it in this scene?
A wire?
Like he becomes made of wire.
Yeah. In the sort of.
I mean, this feels like the Gremlins 2 of nightmares. I think the sequel, the Jordan Peele's The Sequel Doctor has been there saying, and let's make a wire Freddy and a gremlin that's made of electricity. You'll get a gremlin, and you also make a gremlin.
Yeah, I think it's over the top silliness, and nothing like.
I don't like the effects either. I don't think the effects work. I think it's like they go too handmade looking, and it just looks amateurish.
I'm okay with it. I think it's all ridiculous nonsense.
It looks like it was done very quickly.
And he's racing down a clearly closed off freeway, and yet somehow he and a semi truck smash into each other like a block away from the Peach Pit.
Mm.
it doesn't make
calling it the Peach Pit.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know whether I'm more insulted about you calling it the Peach Pit, when it's just a totally normal diner, or
it's the Peach Pit.
You're implying that aspect of Beverly Hills 90210 was somehow less worthy. I don't like.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
It's a great show. What's wrong with Beverly Hills 90210?
What I'm saying was that 4 had an overall kind of television look to it. And so, Peach Pit.
Music television look.
Yeah. Give you that.
Whereas this looks like a music video that doesn't work and was never shown.
No, yeah, I'm okay with all of it. I mean, it's terrible. It's all nonsense, and I don't know that it looks great, but
Doesn't.
I kind of like I like the ridiculousness of it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it. Like, I have a good time with it.
All right. So
Alice wakes at the hospital to find out she's pregnant, right?
She's pregnant, and so I'm always a little bit fuzzy on. It's Dan's kid, but Freddy's kind of getting in his head, or is it Freddy's kid? Has she
No, yeah, I think it's Dan's kid, but I think
dream impregnated? She's been dream impregnated by Freddy.
yeah, no, I think it's Dan's kid, but Freddy is looking at it as his boy.
Okay, there's like a Joseph God situation.
Yeah, because he's
I keep making comparisons between Freddy and Jesus Christ, and
Well,
I think it's not good. It's
getting
not
yourself
a good
in
road
trouble.
to go down.
It looks like Freddy is feeding the baby some of his souls down that the umbilical.
Okay. Because I don't know. Is it better or worse if it's the rape child of Freddy?
It's certainly more horrific.
It's more horrific. I mean, it's like they're trying to find a spin on what they did in 2, I think, with the idea of, like, Freddy possessing the victim rather than just slashing them, sporadically. Like, a way for Freddy to exist inside a person again.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't know, I think I understand you've got to be careful with this. But I don't think they are careful with the idea of abortion. I think that's just done kind of tastelessly. But but I don't know. I think it would be scarier if they were clearer about what was going on. Like in Rosemary's Baby, which admittedly I've just seen for the first time. It's like it's the devil's baby.
Yeah, right.
And that makes it tons scarier than, it being John Cassavetes' baby, but it's being raised in the faith. It's like, when they lean over, and you never fucking see this baby, by the way, but they go, he has his father's eyes. I'm like, oh, that is chilling.
Yeah, right.
That line is chilling. I wanted something like that here, where it was, he has Robert England's eyes superimposed on him.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say,
Robert
it's
England
like,
to get his face in the
you can't, just because you recently watched one of the all-time classic horror movies, you can't then look at this low-budget nonsense.
Oh, come on. You can't pull... After all we've said about the movies we like in this series, you can't make the alternative argument suddenly and say, oh, it turns out it was a shitty bunch of movies after all, even we've been arguing that they're not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's like you say you make it sound like you're expecting this movie to be as good as Rosemary's Baby.
Good writing costs nothing.
That's true.
You can make a low-budget movie with good writing. In fact, one of the only things you can do without a budget.
Yeah.
You don't need an expensive screenwriter to write a good screenplay. In fact, I would argue the opposite is true.
Well, I guess part of it is, the abortion.
Kurtzman,
the abortion part is, I think, coming up right now where they talk about it. Like, because what's that guy's name? Is it not Jacob? That's the kid.
Dan?
Who's the friend? Dan?
Oh, no.
No.
The friend is...
Mark?
Yeah, I think
Mark.
that's right.
Right?
Mark, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Mark says, listen, if Freddy's trying to fuck with your kid, like, you don't have to have this kid. So what about an abortion? And she says, no, it's like the last thing of Dan because Dan's dead now. And so they bring up abortion in that way. You'd think that this is pro-life, this movie. even a child that could become a Freddy helper is worth giving birth
Freddy
to.
Helper. You make it sound like he's something you put in your casserole. Put a little Freddy Helper in. Has a little child soul meatball.
Yeah.
Freddy Helper. But, they sort of dodge the issue, and then it's like, well, we'll just see a doll being smashed, and then the audience can make up their own minds about what's going on. I'm like, oh, come on, doll being smashed? Yeah, and we've got to, now, whenever we introduce a new group of characters who are somehow unfamiliar with the Freddy legend, even though they live in Springwood, and, there's kids singing jump rope songs about it.
All over the place.
They were probably those kids in the original movie,
Yeah, right.
grown up. But they have to be filled in the story, so we have to retell the Freddy legend every time. It's interesting.
It's amazing that you liked that in the last movie and you dislike it in this movie.
Well, I didn't say I disliked it. I'm just that's a neutral note.
Okay.
It's something that has to be done. I like how it's done in the last movie because it's a walk and talk. Bam, we're gonna go from the car to the house,
to the house,
the driveway, and in that time we've covered everything the audience needs to know. So but I'm just saying that
we do have to reset every movie.
Yeah,
we have to reset the new.
It's a narrative note. It's not a
okay.
Quality note. Well, my next note is about the
dinner, right?
Yeah, Greta's family dinner party that takes place in the universe of Beetlejuice.
That's my note.
It's so Beetlejuice.
It's Beetlejuice influenced, I said.
Yeah. Great. I'm glad we both have that note.
That's fine.
Great. Listen, no complaints about the prosthetics of the face stuffing.
Mm-hmm. There was one thing I really liked. I think it's this moment where Freddy's feeding her, and they do like a close-up of the glove. And all the way by the finger on the razor's edge, there's like a lot of old blood that's like dried on it. I thought that was really super cool.
I hope that actress had a tetanus shot before she did the scene.
I'll say.
But to me, again, this sort of, despite the good prosthetics, it sort of misses the mark. It's like neither gross out horror nor straightforward terror. Like it feels, I don't know, like I got Troll 2 Ghostbusters vibes from it.
Troll 2, that's a good connection.
Well, not really. I mean, not if you're defending this movie.
I just mean they're similar in how they're presenting this aspect.
I don't know. It just doesn't. It misses the mark for me. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I supposed to be disgusted or terrified or both? And I'm neither. So
I think they're going for disgusted, but for that I think they actually don't go far enough.
I agree. And I think that, I don't know, the setup to it comes from a much kitschier movie. Like, this belongs more in the next movie in terms of tone. Because this isn't a particularly camp movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless there's some unintentional kitsch in it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like the comic book sequence that's coming up. But they didn't intend it to be. They wanted that to look cool, and it looked shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I just think it misses. I just think this should be a lot better than it is, given the idea. Again, the ideas behind it, which is solid.
Yeah, the only thing I like is the button. Not the only thing I like. I mean, I like the idea of it, but I just have problems with the execution. But I really like.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just performance with the mom when she calls out to her daughter, and it's almost as though she has a lifetime of regret in just how she says her daughter's name.
Yeah.
And how she's been treating her daughter. That I really liked.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, and again, I feel like it's an easy fix. Like, Stephen Hopkins gets somebody to give him the reel of the Mr. Creosote scene from Monty Python's Meaning of Life, and is, I think, the tone they're going for. But like you say, you have to go much further. You have to have the projectile vomiting and the buckets and So it's like an easy fix. It's not like there isn't an obvious way that this could work. It just doesn't. Made quickly.
So I think we talked about this in the last movie too. The one thing these later movies have problems with is because so many people are dying, and like Like in the last one, they're going to a lot of funerals, and this one they don't even have funerals. It's just, it's just,
Yes.
it's just them yelling at their parents, like, "My friend just died. Give me a break, would you?"
Yeah. My friend, we're just doing a group funeral at
Yeah.
some point next month. Now, I always... So there's a... When we go into the warehouse, which, by the way, gave me Final Destination vibes. Is it Final Destination 5, where he works in, like, a Home Depot or something?
I don't remember which one,
But he's working in a warehouse, anyway, in Mark. And we go past, like, we have, like, another tracking shot, which goes past a TV... which has got like an interview with a rock band on it, and in my head I was like, well, this must be Dokken.
That's what I thought. I was going to ask you.
No,
Okay.
it definitely is not Dokken. It's Ted Nugent's band. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, okay.
And this is like a real talk show as well.
Weird.
It's so weird for this like fleeting
Yeah.
moment where like literally.
I thought it was something series
seconds of a
related
tracking
for
shot.
sure.
I mean, I think they're sort of going for Dick Cavett and Jar Jar Gabor again, mixed with Dokken.
Well,
But I mean, it's silent as well. Like you're like, there seems to be a contentious interview on television, and now we've
Right.
panned away from it. What the fuck?
okay.
Why?
So that was my question for you. I didn't have time to research it, and I didn't know how to research it.
The only bit of research you need to do now is what the fuck was Ted Nugent's band called? I'm sure people are screaming at us, but
You'll have to remember that.
okay. And
I have
you
less
can-
interest in that than
disproving me
the
wrong
last
about.
seconds of dreams.
Dream time is totally fucking condensed. It's like seconds. Hours seem like seconds. Days seem like seconds, I think, in dreams. Anyway. And we get a kind of a preview of what of how Mark's gonna find his end.
Because he finds himself in front of the house. She draws herself and does a little spin thing to get into the dream.
It's kind of funny because the last movie took on the aesthetic of music videos, but here they're quoting specific music videos because this is very much like the Aha Take On Me video.
Okay.
You know, with the drawing of the comics and coming to life.
Yeah, right.
But when they finally get around, and we'll get there, but when they finally get around to doing it, they miss the point completely about that video and how it works. But anyway, and why it was good. Good Steadicam work. I like one of the things I like about Stephen Hopkins is how he keeps the action in a single shot.
Yeah.
So that's always good to
And
see.
one of my notes was
I don't have a problem with the camera work in. I think there's a good camera work in this movie, but that's it really.
Okay. One of my notes was there seemed to be some prior series continuity because the mouth that Mark, is it Mark, right? We said that he's hanging into, it reminds me of the Joey kind of falling into hell over the bed. Like it seemed.
When you said the Joey, I was thinking about a baby kangaroo. I was like, what have I missed?
When the fuck was there a baby kangaroo?
Yeah, Joey. I know you. Yeah.
So I like that aspect that this series, until the next movie, by the way, seems interested in all the movies that came before it.
Next movie's not good either. You're gonna keep getting your digs in, and I'm gonna keep covering this. The next movie's not good either. It doesn't succeed often. It just succeeds a little more than this at times.
No, less.
It's kind of another area of potentially. I'm not of all the kind of premises in the sequels. The Dream Child is the one I'm least comfortable with. Because there's a lot of assumptions and implications that I don't think they've thought about. Like, we're upping the ante by... Freddy's going after Alice's unborn baby. So we're sort of upping the ante by making the children he goes after younger. He's going after babies now. And but then it's kind of insulting that people would think that was worse. It's like, oh, he's one of those baby pedophiles. They're way worse than the regular kind. I'm like, no, so all these unchecked assumptions. I was like, I don't want to have to think about any of this. Why are you making me? You're making me think. Well, there's two kinds of pedophiles, and one's bad and one's good. No. Stop it, movie. Don't make me think about this. Get a handle on your material conceptually. Something else that I don't know if this.
A lot of assumptions there.
A lot of point of confusion for you. Alice's friend. I can't remember her name. She works in the hospital.
Yeah, this is nonsense. There's no high school student that's also a nurse.
You're frozen. Oh God, you're frozen.
No, you're frozen.
Ugh.
Can you hear me?
Again, I can. I think you were making the same point in the little burst I got you making the same point of like, what capacity does she work at in that hospital?
Yeah, there's
Right?
no high school. I was saying there's no high school student that's a fucking nurse. She is presented as a nurse.
But then she's presented as a nurse sometimes, then other times she's presented as a candy striper.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you can't like combine the two jobs. Like you can't be like, hey,
They're
I'm
very
selling
different.
fucking flowers. I'm selling flowers here in the hospital, and
Yeah.
occasionally I get to sit in on the patients.
Right.
I mean, it's like Dr. Richard Kimball when he's the janitor.
Yeah.
The Fugitive.
Right.
Check the film. Check the film.
Everything's like everything can be like The Fugitive if you try hard enough.
If you squint just hard enough, all terrible movies can be
Yeah.
The Fugitive.
One of my next notes is this is the worst doctor in the world because they give her that sonogram.
Mm.
And then she's kind of, well, I'll also go ahead and say rightfully going nuts because Freddy keeps fucking with her. And we
Yeah.
all, as the audience, know that's true. But Yvonne, I think it's Yvonne, right?
That's Yvonne. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yvonne and the doctor are like, there she goes, acting crazy. And the first thing he does is break patient confidentiality by picking up that phone and calling Dan's parents.
Oh yeah.
What
yeah,
a
yeah.
terrible monster.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't bump me so much because I think later on her reaction implies it's like, yeah, you betrayed my trust, you weren't a good doctor to me, and it's a hangover from the old kind of patriarchal type of doctoring.
Oh, and this is also the point I think Alice sees Freddy kind of feeding souls to the baby.
Yeah, and the fetus scene, like, horror should definitely probe primal urges and everyday fears. So this idea of like, what's happening to my baby while it's inside me is, I think, literally fertile territory for that. But this kind of borders on the tasteless just because it is like, hey, you fucking giving your souls. It's like,
Yeah, no.
It's
It doesn't
more like-
help that
it's
the souls
complex
are all
inducing.
kind of
It's not,
milky white, so
Yeah.
that it looks like the color of sperm. It's not good.
Oh, it's not good. The ultrasound body looks like the effects from Quantum Leap. So I was like, is she going to end up in the 1940s? Well, okay. I'm glad that you also noticed, like I did, that this Yvonne is working in this hospital in
That's very strange.
floating capacity. I noticed something in the background of it. There's a there's a mannequin leg pot.
Pot?
Yeah, so there's like a mannequin leg plant pot in the background with a plant in it, and I'm like, those theories about there being an on-set ghost in Three Men and a Baby.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't there theories circulating about this? This is a fucking horrifying background image. This genuinely looks like something terrifying was on set. Anyway, I must have been bored. It's kind of interesting, like so Freddy's found a way to enter their waking lives through...
Because the baby's dreaming.
Because the baby's dreaming. So why do they all need to stay awake? Shouldn't they all want to go to sleep now?
Well, I see your point, but you still you're still the most vulnerable when you're asleep, I guess, is the only way I can imagine. Like, that's what's in their head.
That's like in I mean, that's what they talk about in Freddy versus Jason, isn't it? There's nowhere to get away because Jason's going to get you when you're awake. Freddy's going to get you when you're asleep. But now Freddy can get you when you're awake and when you're asleep. So,
right.
Where do you go? The movies?
That's the last movie.
Coast Guard? Who will police the police?
Well, Dan's parents are going to come over and say they want that baby. Give me that baby.
And I was kind of, again, I'm not sure whose side we're supposed to be on in this scene, right? I mean, I suppose there's the irony of these presumably quite traditional parents asking her to have an abortion.
Well, no, they're not.
Oh no,
they want the baby.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they want the baby. And does she want it? So I don't understand. So she's considering an abortion because I don't think she is.
No, because her
it's
friend
just about who
Mark
raises
asks
the baby.
about that.
Okay.
And she says, "No way, it's a part of Dan, and I want the baby."
So she wants to take the baby and raise it, and they want to take the baby and raise it.
Yeah, because the doctor called, and she seems a little cuckoo, so they think that she's not fit to be a mother, and that they might have a court case.
Yeah. I don't think this is how any of this works. You know?
Agreed.
I think the legal case for taking a child away from their parent has to be pretty cut and dry. I don't think it can be, well, they went to a therapist, like they said some weird shit when they were getting their ultrasound.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quite enough, I don't think.
Because if that was
her
the
dad,
case, no parent would be able to raise that child.
Isn't her dad like suspiciously quiet during this scene? Doesn't he kind of keep looking between his daughter and the parents and
well,
I'm here to support my daughter, although she's might be crazy, so these guys might have a point.
Well, now he's quit alcohol. We know he's a coward. So, like that, like Unforgiven tells us. Sobriety is for quitters.
I don't know. I think we're about to get to Mark's. Every fucking person in this movie when somebody walks up to someone in any of these movies and says, "Just watch me and don't fall asleep." It's the first thing they do. They all fall asleep.
Yeah, but that makes total sense. I mean, well, when we discuss the original Nightmare on Patreon, I think that's because Johnny Depp is a bad person. And interestingly, I used Johnny Depp, not his character in the movie.
You're right, yeah.
But,
all right, well, why don't we take one last break and then we'll come back and finish up?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Right after this.
I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here finishing up with A Nightmare on Elm Street 5? Yeah, 5. Yep. The Dream Child.
5 instead of a colon. There's a question mark. 5? Nightmare on Elm Street 5? The Dream Child.
Well, so yeah, Alice and Mark go to.
I like their relationship.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's been a while since we've seen a platonic male-female relationship. Well, again, I'm going back to Jesse and fake Meryl Streep in 2. They're still supposed to be girlfriends, but we know it's a platonic relationship.
Yeah, you said. I remember. I should have mentioned. Like, I don't think of her as fake Meryl Streep. I think of her as.
No, Pam.
Yeah, Pam. I think of her as fake Annette O'Toole.
Oh, okay. I like that, yeah. Well, they specifically said they hired her because she looked like Meryl Streep.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think of her as Bookstore Pam from Seinfeld. I'm just not Gaga over her.
I want to be Gaga.
Gaga.
Can I be Gaga just once?
She can bring home the bacon and fry it in the pan. What does that mean? So I like their relationship. I always like in this series emotionally sensitive males.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah,
I like that in this movie.
I thought it was hilarious and almost like the parody version of this movie when he goes to the library and he's sort of like, okay, it's like this is a.
He's getting all the information on Amanda, right? He's doing research.
He's like, this is a Christian symbol. I've got a book just for that. And then he pulls out a book called Christian Mythology, and I'm like, rather than the Bible. And so, like, what? You didn't have the rights to the Bible?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, by the way, that Mark. He's still. We're kind of at that factory, right? Or are we somewhere else?
No, I think
his house.
Well, goes to the library. They're in the library.
No, because we're at when she goes to sleep, we're at his place somewhere.
Oh, isn't he?
With that bunk bed that has no lower bed, it's just the top bed.
That's in the warehouse, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was in the warehouse.
I think that's in the warehouse. Yeah.
Because the cop, when they show up because he's dead, he says this place is not up to code. It's a miracle they're both not dead.
Well, which again made me think of it's something like Final Destination 3,
Pick one.
5, where there's something involving a nail gun happens. There's like a nail gun accident. It leads to a forklift falling. Oh, I love Final Destination so much.
It's really good.
So that line makes me just think, oh, that's a missed opportunity that there isn't a sort of Rube Goldberg style collapsing of the warehouse. But to your
my
point
question for you though is because she says, "Just watch me. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to find Freddy."
Yes.
Don't
I was
fall
gonna go back
asleep.
to that. And then he starts reading.
But he starts reading his comic book. So does he actually fall asleep? Because in this movie, it's up for grabs. Because he just he's pulled into the comic book. So is that just a Freddy pulls him in?
In real, sleep hygiene. Reading is kind of the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
Only activity you can do, aside from getting about and walking, but the only kind of, I guess, entertainment you can do, reading on a printed page will help you sleep. Everything else will keep you awake, looking at a screens, looking at your phone, watching TV. All of that's gonna.
Because when she went to bed,
he picked the worst possible sleep deterrent.
Because at first he's not reading a comic book; he's reading a book, and the second she puts her head on the pillow, he opens up a book, and I go, "No, that's the wrong thing, Mark. What are you doing?"
Because it's kind of funny when I obviously did not have the ideas about sleep hygiene we had now, but in the original Nightmare, what Johnny Depp's doing with the headphones and the TV is sort of that would probably work. That would probably keep you awake. Of course, he's just a terrible person, so he falls asleep anyway.
Right.
But
not only does he fall asleep, but he falls asleep twice. His mom actually wakes him up at about 11:45, and he's supposed to go over at midnight. He falls asleep again.
It's so fun. Something else that they never have in any of these movies that I associate with dreaming is when you wake yourself up minutes before your alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that hasn't come into these movies at some point.
Yeah, right.
That seems to be
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's like Dream Master in the real world, isn't it?
I did that this morning.
I can will myself awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the Dream comics.
Not a fan, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the production values have taken a dive, I think, and also camera work is good in this movie, but I think Hopkins is a constant cutter.
Mm-hmm.
As well, like he so constant cutting makes it hard to establish.
You mean in the editing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too, actually.
Even though when he has these long tracking shots, these single takes, but there's also a lot of overlapping cutting.
The cutting seems to be when there's multiple people in the scene. He's really he's going nuts.
And again, as we're sort of back to,
but
Dream
I
Warriors,
really
let's
kind of
try and
like the
attack Freddy
scene.
in
I
the
kind of
dreams.
like the comic nonsense.
Sorry, I'm not
I'll come
shaking.
back.
I subsequently, once I found out what you actually said, I'll shake my head at what you said. But I was just shaking my head at hearing every third word of what
Having
you said.
to not hear it.
I'm sure when I hear the full sentence, I'll continue shaking my head.
Yes, you will. So all I was saying was,
quite like was what I heard.
yeah, I knew this would probably make you nuts, putting my internet aside, but when I saw this comic book kill, I did rather enjoy it. I thought it was something, they were trying to branch out, something new, something. I don't know that interesting's the right word, but
no, it's not. I literally wrote least interesting.
Well, the part I liked was the part where, because when Mark's drawn, and he's not the comic book guy with the guns, but when he's literally just a drawing, but he's in color and everything else is black and white, and Freddy swipes at his side, and when he bleeds out all his color, I like that a lot.
Well, it's interesting. Like, we've seen movies that have done this better, like the sort of they go to kind of a black and white paper looking German expressionism style.
Right.
I was thinking of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey and how much better they do it.
True.
I'm just like, this is the less interesting version of that. And I think the fundamental misstep is what you want is an animated comic. And what they give you is a walking drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So they missed the point completely. The Aha video gets it. The comic book come to life. She goes into the comic. She moves around in the comic world. But for some reason they don't do that here. They just have a cutout flopping about.
Yeah, I had a different reaction. I like that color leak, and then it's cut happy, but I think on purpose because of course he's cutting up just a floppy drawing. But we cut to Freddy //////. If you think about what he's doing, it's the most violent he's ever been, because it's just all repeated slashes. I mean, he's slashing him
just 12
to 15 times. But what I did like was when we get back to reality and we see sort of, I think they could have drawn out the horror of it even more. But Mark seems to be underneath something, but there's a pool of blood under him.
Yeah.
I think they could have shown the horror more. I think that could have been more graphic of him exposed with all the slashes.
Yeah,
all the blood.
And that's a specific point that I think they do better in the next movie with the map. Like
I hate that map scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well then we're gonna have another fight.
Scary map? No.
That's kind of a. Again, I think I don't think dreams fuck with you the way they fuck with me.
I guess so. Yeah.
That anxiety is. Yeah, it's great because after the series you're gonna realize I'm a really well-adjusted person compared to Tom, who lives a waking nightmare.
You know what? You know what part of it is? I think is because I backpack every summer, and so I
Oh, yeah,
have
yeah.
those maps, and I just pull out my map, I look at it, I refold it. I have no problems with maps.
Yeah, if you've got a sense of direction, then it's not gonna fuck with you. But if you don't, that is like your kryptonite.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. So
What doesn't look good is Yvonne on that diving board with the.
well, I've got more to. First of all, is this? I wrote down young Sherlock Holmes wobbly board. So when he turns into the floppy drawing,
Yeah.
is that using the same technique that they used in
Oh,
Sherlock Holmes?
young
with
Sherlock Holmes?
with the stained glass
Oh.
floppy, but the window guy,
I don't know.
because it looked very similar to me. And I know that was like the first use
Yeah.
of CGI in a movie, in a live action movie.
Yeah, Robert Englund brings up that point in one of the extras on either this DVD or not DVD, but this or the next movie. I can't remember which one, but he says, you know, we were really movie-wise, not this series, but in all of movies, we were at the forefront of new things that were just starting to happen in terms of CGI and like what you could do in a movie. And we started playing with that a little bit to varying degrees of how much it did or did not work. But
If
we
that
were
was-
interested in it. So
If that was motivating the choice, I think that was the wrong choice, because I don't think that capitalizes on what they just do an elevated version of the Aha video, and it would have been more effective anyway. Da da da, Freddy chasing you. Da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da. Is it just so? We haven't said anything about the music. The music's pretty stable. The soundtrack's pretty stable in this movie. I feel like they really overused the bell toll sound effect in this movie. I feel like I hear it about every 2 minutes.
yeah, there is a lot of.
I'm like, is this a Taco Bell commercial?
It's in the next movie too. I mean,
Yeah.
not as much, but you're right. Yeah, there's lots of bells.
Like, I don't need it. How do they convince themselves that Freddy's gonna die if his mother's soul's at rest? Is it that Christian mythology book that tells them that? But they seem pretty certain that that's what they need
That's
to do.
the clue. Alice seems to be going on instinct. Mark seems
She is the
to
dream
be
master.
seems to be doing research.
Well, we shouldn't poke fun at people who actually do research, should we?
But you're right. I don't think I ever remember a scene where Mark says, "So here's what we got to do."
That's what I'm. It's kind of missing. Is like,
Yeah.
okay, X must mean Y, and that's all I need. I mean, it's all
Yeah,
gobbledygook, but
it's all nonsense.
I just want a scene where they convince themselves of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can
Because Yvonne
suspend
is
disbelief.
tasked by Alice to go back to the spooky asylum and find Amanda. So she's doing, in real world, she's doing the scariest thing ever, which is going into a creepy old asylum where 1,000 guys raped a nun.
Well, I mean, once they get back in there, there's so much kind of dream nonsense going on. Like,
Yeah, I think this is when the movie gets its weakest. Everything that they're
When
trying to do
he's
that
death
is
at the
innovation.
death at the hands of his own fathers before he becomes lots of spiders is what I've written
Yeah.
down. It's like, that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
No, she drags him. It's
Not
funny
even,
too.
Not even dream sense.
There's so many times where the one thing about this series is there's so many things that they're sure is going to take care of Freddy, and it just never does. You don't really get a clue why until the next movie, because it's 3 prehistoric piranhas who just said he can live forever.
Which, to be fair, is not guessable, is it? If you didn't know,
Yeah, it's hard
There's no
to
way you could
suss
guess.
that out. Your own.
what if? I'm going out on a limb here, guys, but what if it's 3 piranhas? What have you been smoking? I don't know, but it's really cleared my head about what might be going on here.
one of the writers, I can't remember if it was this movie or the next movie, he said, you know, sometimes I get like really stuck, like don't know what to do. And so what I would do is, like, you know, and I'm just kind of a frantic person anyway. I'm kind of going a mile a minute. So what I would do is I just go sleep. I just go sleep like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then I'd find myself waking up because I go to bed with Freddy. Like, Freddy's on my mind. And then I wake up with Freddy doing something. And then I put that in. And I'm like, yeah, that's what these movies feel like. Exactly
You know,
like
what
that.
you just described is what should be in the movie. That's terrifying what you just said. I'm writing about Freddy, so I go to bed and I dream about Freddy. Now Freddy's in my dreams. And he makes me write whatever he wants to write.
Yeah.
Like he writes, Freddy becomes a character in reality. Woo! Just pops up. Did you notice the Untouchables / Battleship Potemkin reference with the stroller going down the steps in the dream?
Is it going down steps?
2 years after. Yeah. The stroller starts to fall down steps. I'm like, oh, Untouchables was 2 years ago. 2 years is not long enough to reference it.
Right.
Although I guess it has plausible deniability because both were taken from Battleship Potemkin, which is from the 1920s. So.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was like he's really grasping at straws at this point. And this is where we get, and you can tell that because this is where we get the MC Escher, which he flatly admitted. I like MC Escher, so I thought we'd have an MC Escher style aesthetic for this. Which again, I think is a good idea for a dream sequence in a Freddy movie. I just don't feel like they capture the nightmarish feel of what this could be, that every time you leave, you get thrown back in.
Yeah.
You can never leave. It's like, that never comes across. It feels...
No, that I agree with.
It feels totally surface level of... Oh, you know, like Hopkins has had time to master the filmic translation of an MC Escher painting, but no more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't been able to turn it into something fearsome and terrifying.
Terrifying, right.
But he's mastered the graphics, just not the feel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
agreed. Like I said, I mean, this whole last section, this whole last fight, I think is, you know, it's supposed to be the climax of your movie, and it feels to me like the weakest part of the whole movie.
Weakest part, some of the best effects in the movie, though. When Freddy splitting in two from Freddy.
When they pull each other out, that's good.
I think that's a high point effects-wise.
Absolutely.
Of the movie.
Yeah.
But
it's like they spent all their money on that.
Or their time, right? It might not even be about money. It might just be sort of like, you know, if we're making this too quickly, we don't have time for 2 or 3 of these kinds of sequences that you had in the last couple of movies.
Right.
Mind you, they didn't have time the last time around, so that's why there's no excuse.
Yeah. But there's that, what's it called? The sort of Penrose stairs quality going on.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be a real focal point for the movie, but it's not... that part's not jiving for me.
Oh, I'm rereading my notes for this scene. It's such a mess. I wrote disappearing skeleton nun. And
that's when... By the way, how does Yvonne know how to break through that door? Like, there's no clues to show her that this must be the room that this skeleton nun is locked in.
Yeah.
She literally, like, breaks through a door or a wall and falls into the room and is like, hello, Amanda?
Yeah.
And then he turns her, kind of puts the hand on the shoulder, and it's kind of like Psycho with like turning in the chair, the corpse turning around.
I had that exact note. They took the most suspenseful moment from Psycho, and then they just kind of fudge it with indecision.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like, it's a skeleton, and it's disappearing. Whoa! And then my next note is like a 4-way standoff between the characters, and it's like, who's passing power to who? Who's responsible for
what?
For what?
Because both
many
Alice
cooks.
and Jacob, her unborn child, are
Yes.
both kind of turning into Freddy.
Yes.
Is that before she realizes that Freddy's inside of her?
After,
Or after?
I think.
Okay. Weird.
Souls on Sticks is my next note. Which, feels very much callback to the Dogs with Human Faces level of practical effects.
Right.
And it's kind of like when we get to the soul transfer moment, as I put it, it's all done with light.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of just, again, feels like the all-purpose solution to everything's all right.
Yeah.
There's light in the world, but you can't actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
So take it from us. Trust the light. That means everything's fine.
Right. Well, because and Amanda shows up.
Yeah, she's a stop motion puppet. Right?
Is that right? No, she's just herself, but there's a... I did write Souls Pull Out Ugly Puppet.
Oh, that must be it then.
But is that the little mini puppet Freddy
Well, there's a in this sequence
with the
there's
deformed head?
yeah, and there's a stop motion puppet of Amanda in the background, and I was like, is that supposed to look like a puppet in the way that this looks like a puppet, or is it?
Oh.
Does it look like a puppet because it's not good?
No, I think it's just not good.
Yeah, I think
Because
so
it doesn't even look... I think I don't think it's a puppet. It looks like she's sort of superimposed over the entire scene.
Okay.
But from a distance.
Yes.
Like when there's that separation, all of a sudden, ugly Freddy puppets on the floor, which Amanda kind of takes into her being.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an actual baby on the floor that Alice picks up that's her, I guess, unscathed son to be. Or is it that she actually just gave birth to her son?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I'm impressed that they found a baby with such a crazy face. I don't know how many how many crazy face babies there are out there, but this baby has an insane grin. to give us a sense that there might still be a little bit of Freddy in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you cast a crazy baby face?
Right. The one thing I did like, I guess because none of the other movies do it, but when Amanda takes Freddy ugly baby into her and she retreats, like all these iron doors start closing and exploding.
Yeah.
And then there's one last one that holds.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I did like about that was it's as though this is the only movie that says, hey, look. No, that's not true. I mean, they all have the final scare moments.
There isn't really one in this movie, though, is there?
There is. It's the original one that Wes Craven wanted for the first movie. But
The Skip Rope Girls.
yeah, just the skip rope girls chatting. Not chatting, but,
Oh, but you can't go back to it at this point.
Yeah, no.
They're just playing.
But what I liked about
that.
that iron door thing was it was as if they were saying, we're holding Freddy at bay. This is the best we can do. Like, Freddy can always come back, but we've got, whatever it is, 5 broken iron doors and at least one that's holding. And it's like, we're acknowledging that this is the best we can do with him. Because the other movies all say, that's it, he's finally dead, until 60 seconds later in the film when the light comes on or the coin flip in a fountain or... this movie seems to say, listen, you can't kill him. This is all you can do.
Okay.
I like that acknowledgement.
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't know whether it's a fake out for... I don't know how far they got along with the process of developing the next movie, but the next movie is about, you can kill him, and he's gone, and he's dead. As I don't know how much... They must have thought there was more gas left in the tank than there actually was at this point. if you're doing that kind of an ending. I don't
Yeah,
necessarily get everything you just laid out, but it's a fair reading of this ending, and I don't know, because it's interesting because they've got it. Four's given them kind of a new lease of life that even if we make the sequel quickly, it'll still, we can. It's still, the series has still got an energy about it. People are still going to like it.
That's the thing, is it's got an energy about it.
And then this movie is kind of like proving that's not necessarily always going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been a one-off. Dream Master might have been a one-off. So it's interesting. They don't know that until the movie comes out, obviously, and it's shown. But so what are they thinking about how we want to end this movie and where we want to go from here? And then maybe everything you're saying about, well, let's not work as hard to kill Freddy rather than contain him so he can Jack in the Box out in the next movie.
Right.
Because we know he's going to do that anyway, whether we kill him or not.
Yeah, right.
But that implies they're like, oh, we got 2 or 3 more of these.
I don't know. I don't remember even in the documentary of them. I mean, all I remember, I don't know what they were thinking as this movie was going along.
Yeah. I guess
and as they finished it. But obviously, by the time it was done, they were already thinking, well, I think it's time.
Yeah, enough is enough.
Certainly Rachel, what's her name? Talalay. Because she's the next one, and she's like, yeah, no, this is it. Like, let's.
She was hired to euthanize Freddy, essentially.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the woman's job to do that and get blamed for it.
Mm-hmm.
While the guys get away with it, get away with
Scot-free.
it, even though this is much worse.
In one of the extras for, I forget if it's this movie or the next movie, she talked, because in this movie and in the last movie, there's lots of like vagina tunnels that Freddy's moving through.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she was like, "You're gonna have to ask the men about that. I don't know. I tried to stop that nonsense, but you gotta ask all those male directors."
As an owner of a vagina, I don't need to see this.
Why they need so many vagina tunnels?
Yeah,
That's great.
It's so funny. It's like, this series is done. Now we can have a woman director.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because
to take all the heat.
Yeah, one thing the documentary didn't give us that the extras on these DVDs get, or on the, whatever. Yeah, DVDs, even though I have it on digital. One of the things that it gave me was she had a whole master plan. It was fantastic to hear her talk about it because Shay had just directed his own movie. I don't remember the name of it, but she had this...
Is he the lead as well?
Maybe. She had this plan of saying to him, well, you can't knock me down for wanting to direct this movie and saying I have absolutely no experience, which is true, but you just directed a movie, you put yourself in charge of a movie, and you have absolutely no experience. So it's like she had to have this whole fucking plan to say, despite the limitation of being a woman, here's why you should let me direct this movie.
Yeah. Shame them into giving you the job. That's all she's
Yeah, basically.
Not the fact that she's been behind the scenes for
since the beginning.
Yeah. And may, worked with other directors anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because she was working with John Waters and
yep.
somebody else, I think.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he's not in the next movie. But I know, well, we'll get there, but there was supposed to be a John Waters favorite in the movie that didn't make it.
All right, give us a credit check.
Increasingly dismissive credits that portray a lack of interest in anything that's going on. Asylum Girl. There's a character called 30-something. What the fuck is that? And
Must
then
be Peter Horton.
This is the real... That would be great if that was the reference. And this is the real kicker. Guess what Alice's dad is referred to as?
Former drunk.
That would be better. Alice's dad. They don't even give it a name. He's like a supporting character. Yeah, I think we got a
That's
name.
great.
Alice's dad?
Alice's dad.
Wow. We talked about the Ted Nugent, Wally George scene. That's the name of the talk show host, apparently. Wally George.
Okay.
Pop music generated by the franchise is getting increasingly divorced from the tone of the series. It feels more like this is the Nightmare on Elm Street radio show. And you just play whatever's out in the market at the moment.
Yeah.
Assistant carpenters Kevin DP. Or Kevin DP? I mean, this guy...
D period, P period? Or like...
D-E... D-E capital P-E-E.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy must have been made so much fun of at school.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's got the word P spelt out in his name.
Right in his name.
And his last name is a sexual act as well. An abbreviated sexual act. Maybe they didn't have that when he was a kid.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that abbreviation. I'm sure they had that.
Gotcha.
What was I saying about this movie being tasteless? Additional voices by Super Loopers. Sound effects by Soundbusters. Why do these groups want such heroic names? Can't they just be the people who do these jobs? Soundbusters? You're not trying to eliminate the sound. Animals by Animals Rentals Unlimited. Now, does that mean you can keep the rented animal? Or you replace the dead animal when it's done? When it gets killed?
Which, let's face it, is gonna happen. That's their policy.
So
You gotta replace it because, let's face it, it's gonna happen.
it's just a rental. It's just a rental animal. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now, when just when you thought that the feeder sequences couldn't get more tasteless, guess what they've comically referred to these sequences as in the credits when they're crediting the people who made them? Womb with a View and Fetal Canal.
Boy, she was right.
Yeah.
Fetal canal.
Sounds like Freddy named those sequences.
Right?
A womb with a view and you and no one to have us.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's enough.
Womb with a view. That's, that was. This is why you got to watch these movies right to the end. Most of the time, you'll just get a few relatives, a few nicknames.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you'll stumble upon gold like that.
But every once in a while, you get a womb with a view.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to tell us what you think. We are diametrically opposed.
No, we're not. We're not Stop pretending we're diametrically opposed. You don't like this movie. I don't like this movie. You think it's slightly better than I do, but the difference is negligible.
Let me characterize it on my own, okay?
Well, you're mischaracterizing it. That's why I had to intervene. This is at the bottom of both of our lists.
Yeah.
And this is the cutoff point. This and the next movie for us are the line in the sand of this series.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But the next one's worse.
Marginally, I don't think that's the case. But again, very thin margins.
All right. Regardless, you're going to have to tell us what you think. So do what you do.
Diametrically opposed. To try and make our podcast sound more interesting than it is. What's wrong with you?
All right, I'll
stay
stay boring.
Madness. Yeah. People like this podcast because it's boring. People like podcasts because they're boring.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
You didn't want to be bored? Don't listen to a podcast.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, Blue Sky.
You got it.
Is that it?
Yep. As fluid as it's ever been.
Well, I'm a professional at this point, no?
The fact that you said no and then added a question mark means probably not no. Yeah, like it's like a doctor with his hands covered in blood having just removed a heart. I'm a professional, no?
Isn't there an old Garland joke, things you don't want to see? A doctor with blood in his hair?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I disagree with that. I kind of do want to see that, because that, that means to me that, well, yeah, either he's made out with my insides, or he's,
No, see, the thing that it always evokes for me is a doctor that goes, God, I just don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Puts
I
his
don't
hands
mind-
in his hair, pulls it up.
He
or she.
He or she.
Yeah.
And I'd conversely think, well, they did everything they could to save my life, including putting their head inside my body and trying to suck out the cancer.
Did I tell you we do mysteries on my backpacking trips, and one of them is father and son. They get into a car accident. 2 ambulances come. They take them to 2 different hospitals. So the boy is wheeled into a hospital, and the doctor comes in, and the doctor says, "I cannot perform surgery on this boy. He's my son. How's that possible?"
Because his mother.
Yeah. So, and the kids, you can't possibly imagine the lengths these kids go to say that it's some other man. So they say, is it his grandfather? Is it his uncle? Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? Is it that? And my leaders and myself always are looking at each other like, God damn, this is fucking just so depressing.
Yeah.
And then this one kid on the trip this year goes, oh. And we're like, yes. And he goes, did the mom? And we has this pregnant pause, and we all kind of lean forward and go, he's going to get it. And he goes, dress up like the dad?
Oh! That, ladies and gentlemen, is why there is not a female president.
That's amazing.
Wow.
The saddest fucking thing I ever heard in my
Dress
life.
up as the dad. Maybe she put on a doctor's coat and put a stethoscope on her and put on latex gloves like a man.
Oh, it was fucking awful.
Awful, but hilarious.
Oh my god. Whew. All right. Or send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, I am Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. When you hear us next, we'll be talking Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Bad title.
Mm-hmm. The worst title in the series. No argument here.
Excellent. That's put a pre-point up for me.
If you have to count the title, you might be on shaky ground.
Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
Filet de Barbie.
You remember that when Freddy's the chef?
Yeah.
In the scene. It's a good look for Freddy, is there? I think he looks at home with that chef's hat on.
With that chef's hat and the all that white offset against his red burned face.
I wonder whether they considered him just remaining a chef for the rest of this franchise. Well, you think, oh, that's ridiculous. And then you think about, why does Jason have a hockey mask? Because he decided to wear one in the 3rd movie. There's no other reason.
Yeah, right.
So why
exactly.
can't Freddy Krueger suddenly be wearing chef's whites and a big long hat for the rest of the series?
It's like, these stripes, the horizontal stripes really make me look fat. I think I'll go chef's coat.
Does he do a chef's kiss, or am I Mandela affecting that?
I don't think he does.
Oh, he really should have done a chef's
He
kiss.
should have.
Chef's
You're right.
kiss wasn't a thing back then, though.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
You only dream in the last few seconds before you wake up.
No, it's not true.
No, it is true.
No.
Why won't you accept that?